Once upon a time, there was a curious boy named Jack who loved exploring the woods behind his house. One day, while wandering deeper than usual, he stumbled upon an old, overgrown cabin. The door, hidden under ivy, seemed to glow faintly. Jack, always ready for an adventure, pushed the door open and stepped inside. The cabin was filled with dust and cobwebs, but in the corner, Jack spotted a small wooden door only about 3 feet high. It was unlike anything he had ever seen. With great effort, Jack opened the tiny door, and to his surprise, a bright light flashed, pulling him into another world. When he opened his eyes, he found himself in a land full of magic. The sky was pink, the trees were made of cotton candy, and creatures Jack had only heard about in fairy tales roamed freely. Suddenly, a small talking bird named Pip flew by, introducing himself as Jack's guide. "Welcome to the land of wonders," Pip said. "You're in for a great adventure." Jack couldn't believe his eyes. He wondered what kind of journey lay ahead in this magical new world. Pip guided Jack through the land of wonders, explaining that it was ruled by a kind queen named Seraphina, who lived in the enchanted kingdom. They set off to visit her castle, which shimmered like it was made of diamonds. As they traveled, Jack noticed strange things happening. Flowers talking, rivers flowing uphill, and trees dancing. "Magic is everywhere here," Pip explained. "But you have to be careful. Not all magic is good." When they arrived at the castle, Queen Seraphina greeted Jack warmly. She explained that the land of wonders was in danger. A dark cloud had appeared, spreading fear among the magical creatures, and no one knew where it came from. "We need someone brave to help us find out," Seraphina said. Jack, filled with courage, agreed to help. The queen gave him a magical map that showed the way to the source of the dark cloud. Jack set off on his journey, feeling both excited and nervous. He didn't know what dangers awaited him, but he was determined to help the queen and save the magical land. Following the magical map, Jack and Pip ventured into the mysterious forest, a place known for its tricky paths and hidden secrets. The trees were so tall that their tops disappeared into the sky, and strange creatures peeked at Jack from behind the leaves. "This place gives me the creeps," Pip whispered. But Jack marched on, determined to find the source of the dark cloud. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the air grew colder and the sunlight dimmed. Suddenly, they heard a rustling sound. Out from behind a large tree stepped a wise old fox named Fenwick. "I've been expecting you," Fenwick said with a grin. He told Jack that the dark cloud came from the Forbidden Mountains, far beyond the forest. "It's controlled by a wicked sorcerer who lives there," Fenwick warned. "If you want to stop the cloud, you'll have to face him." Jack thanked Fenwick for his advice and continued his journey. The thought of facing a sorcerer scared him, but he knew he had to be brave. After leaving the mysterious forest, Jack and Pip reached the Bridge of Shadows, the only way to cross the raging river that separated them from the Forbidden Mountains. The bridge was old and creaky, and it swayed dangerously in the wind. But Jack had no choice. He took a deep breath and stepped onto the first plank. As they walked, strange shadowy figures appeared, whispering doubts into Jack's mind. "You can't do this," one shadow hissed. "Turn back while you still can," another said. Jack felt fear creeping into his heart, but Pip reminded him of Queen Seraphina and the magical creatures that needed his help. Gathering his courage, Jack ignored the shadows and kept walking. With each step, the bridge grew more stable, and the shadows began to disappear. Finally, they made it to the other side and Jack felt a surge of confidence. "I can do this," he said to himself, ready to face the challenges ahead. The journey up the Forbidden Mountains was long and difficult. The higher they climbed, the colder it became, and the darker the skies grew. Jack could see the dark clouds swirling above the tallest peak, and he knew that the sorcerer's lair was close. As they climbed, Jack and Pip encountered a fierce storm. The wind howled and snow began to fall, making it hard to see. But Jack pressed on, determined to reach the top. Finally, they arrived at the entrance of the sorcerer's castle, a towering fortress made of black stone. Inside, the sorcerer sat on a throne, his eyes glowing with dark magic. "So, you've come to stop me?" he sneered. Jack, though scared, stood tall. "I won't let you destroy the Land of Wonders," he declared. The sorcerer laughed and raised his staff, ready to attack. The sorcerer unleashed a wave of dark magic. But Jack quickly pulled out the magical map Queen Seraphina had given him. The map glowed brightly, creating a shield that protected Jack and Pip from the sorcerer's attacks. "You think you can stop me with that?" the sorcerer roared. But Jack remembered what Fenwick had told him. "Magic is everywhere, but you have to be careful." Jack realized that the sorcerer's power came from fear. And as long as Jack was brave, the sorcerer couldn't defeat him. With newfound courage, Jack stood firm. The sorcerer's dark magic began to weaken, and the dark cloud above the mountains started to disappear. In a final burst of light, the sorcerer was defeated, and the Land of Wonders was saved. With the sorcerer defeated, the dark cloud vanished, and the Land of Wonders returned to its magical beauty. The vibrant colors of the land shone once again, and the people, freed from fear, celebrated their newfound peace. Jack and his loyal dragon friend Pip made their way back to Queen Seraphina's castle, where she awaited them with a grateful smile. "You've saved us all," Queen Seraphina said, her voice filled with warmth. She handed Jack a glowing crystal. "This is a token of our gratitude. May it always remind you of the courage and kindness you showed." Jack smiled as he accepted the crystal, its light reflecting the magical beauty of the land. Though his heart felt heavy with the thought of leaving, Jack knew it was time to go home. Pip, understanding his friend's feelings, led him back to the cabin where the adventure had all begun. As Jack stepped through the door, he found himself back in his own world. The familiar sights and sounds greeted him, yet he felt different. The magic of the Land of Wonders was still fresh in his heart, reminding him of the incredible journey he had experienced. Jack knew that courage, kindness, and friendship could conquer any challenge. And though his adventure had come to an end, the memories of the Land of Wonders and the friends he made there would stay with him forever.